I'm going to show you how to mix images and videos inside of your Elemental Loop Grid. We are using Advanced Custom Fields. You don't need Advanced Custom Fields Pro. We are going to use the free version. This is really simple and easy to do. And if you don't want to just have images and self-playing videos, you can even mix and match it with some headings and a read more, click here button, even an add to cart as well. This is really easy to do, so make sure you keep watching. On screen, I've got two loop grids. One which just shows you the content in terms of an image or a video. And below I've got another version where I've gone and expanded it in case you wanted to have like the post title or an excerpt. Now these are loop grids, so we are building out templates. But before we get on to actually building this, we need to go and create a custom post type using ACF Advanced Custom Fields that you can get for free from the WordPress repository. And we are going to create some fields as well that sit inside of that post type. And by the way, don't forget that I'm Imran from Web Squadron. I hope you like, subscribe, share, and follow. Make sure you join our YouTube channel for exclusive videos because I love to help you, your clients, and your businesses do so much more with Elementor and WordPress. Now over here, we've already got the Advanced Custom Fields or ACF plugin installed. And I've already gone and created a post type called Gallery because inside of here, I'm going to create posts that could have images or videos or even both, and I'll explain that as well. And then they will be displayed within a gallery, which is actually a loop grid. But like I said, it could be for standard posts as well. Maybe you don't just want to show the featured image that we are very much accustomed to seeing. You know, the featured image that you normally see or a featured product. You can make it feel a little bit more interactive with some moving videos. So the first thing you want to do with your ACF is go over and click post type and then click add new. And that's exactly what I did here. Now I'm going to edit the one I've already built. I called it gallery, singular label is gallery, and that was it. One little thing I do want to mention, even though I did not use it, was advanced configuration. So if you decide that I'm not going to show featured image, because we're now going to use the advanced custom fields that I'm going to be building, if we're going to use that, get rid of the featured image. Maybe you don't even need editor. So pick and choose what you want to keep. But for now, I'm going to leave these as they are. Just make sure you save changes. So this was advanced custom fields, custom post type. And when you go and save that, it will appear over here. Go back over to your WordPress dashboard, sidebar, whatever you want to call it. Go down to ACF and go and click field groups. Then click add new. I've gone and created one called gallery fields. If we go and edit it, my field group name is Gallery Fields, just because it kind of fits in the gallery post type. And I've created just two fields. The first one I've created is G_image. Go and pick a better name. This is just a tutorial, just to make it easy for you to understand. Call it G_image. And all I've done is pick the field type, which is image. Now, I'm not using ACF Pro, but if you did have ACF Pro or another plugin like Pods or something else, you would get the gallery option, but I just want a singular image. G_image, G_image. It's a library. Basically what I mean is I can select the image from a media library. I then added in another field called GVideoURL. This is a file. So even though it says URL, please don't get misled by that because you do have the option for URL here. But instead of using that, I went for file. And here's why. If you use the URL field, you will have to basically paste or add in a URL. Now, when you're doing a new gallery item or a post, if you've already copy and pasted it, great. If not, you just open up your media library. But sometimes it might be easier just to select a video that already is sits inside of your media library, because it's easy just to select it. And I will show you the items in my media library as well. The GVideoURL, which this will automatically appear anyway. When you type that, it normally appears with the underscores or whatnot, but you can overwrite it if you want. And again, this is set to be all. If you just go for uploaded, you will be uploading each time, but I want to select from anything that is pre-existing. Now, one very important part. It might be on file array when you first create this field. Please ensure you pick file URL, which is why I gave it the word URL. So we are picking a file, but you must ensure it's the file URL. And if I just go back over here, when we go to the image array is totally fine. And then the last thing you want to do is just make sure that when you scroll down here, show these fields when the post type is equal to gallery. If you had gone and said post, and you go to your normal WordPress post, you would see these two new fields. They're there for you to complete. You don't have to complete them, but they are there. But we want it to be for gallery. And then when you've done that, just go and click Save Changes. And if I now go back over to my WordPress dashboard and I go into gallery, I've already gone and added in 5 gallery items. You just click Add New Gallery like this. And when you go and give it a title, you can add in some extra content because maybe when you click the image or the video or there's a Read More button, it takes you over to a single post template. But what you see down here are 2 extra new fields. And the idea is that if you want to show the image, so when we are now looking at the loop grid, you go and click Add Image and you pick your image. So you could pick any one of these images over here. Let's just go for that one there. That image will now be there. That is not your featured image, by the way. If I go over here, I could go and set my featured image separately. But for the purpose of what I'm showing you, I'm not bothered by the featured image. So please bear that in mind. You could, if you want, use this as your featured image. Just make sure you select it when you're building out your loop grid or however you're doing it. But you could also just set one here as well. But we're not going to do that. If, however, you didn't want to have the image, you could then go and select a video. So over here, I've got 3 videos. Now, each one of these videos is only 1 megabyte in size. Now, the way we're going to build this loop grid, you could use a YouTube URL. Right, you could use a URL from wherever you want. So if you want to use a URL, you can do. But what I'm saying is I'm going to use self-hosted videos. The videos are only 1 megabyte. If you've got a loop grid with 20 items showing at any one time and each video is 1 megabyte, that's 20 megabytes that's going to be rendered on your page. So please just bear in mind, but if you've mixed and matched, you're not going to have an issue with 5 or 6 of them loading. In fact, you could have 10, 15. I don't think you're going to get much of a hit in terms of performance or loading. So I've got 3 videos, they're all very different, and all you have to do is just go and pick your video. But what if the user or the admin person has gone and picked an image and a video? The video should take higher priority because the video is like a moving image, a moving movie or whatever. But what if you've gone and picked both of them? Don't you worry, the loop grid I'm going to show you will prioritize the video over the image. So even if you've picked both, don't worry, the video will be shown. And I will also show you how we can set the image, if you do pick one, to be the fallback image for your video. So if your video does take like a split second before it starts to show and play, you'll have a fallback image and you could go and set that over here. So far, with regards to advanced custom fields and post types, I hope that made sense. So we got 2 fields, right? G-image and G-video URL. So I've gone and built 5 at the moment. One of them was just an image. This was just a video. If I go and click edit, you will see that there is no image there. It is just a video. If we go to item number 3 and 5, that was an image and a video. Because I'm going to show you that even though we did pick both of them, and I'll prove again, look, we've got an image and we've got a video file as well, it will prioritize the video. So technically, when we go to the loop grid, we should see 1, 2, 3 videos playing. And don't worry, I won't build up any suspense. We can see 1, 2, 3 videos. And by the way, do you notice how when I hover over the videos, you do have the controls to pause and all of that? So let's go and build out our loop grid. Here I've got a container, just a container, you know, nothing fancy. And then we've got a loop grid. Again, this is just a loop grid. You go and build out your template. I'm showing 3 columns with 9 items inside of it, and I've set my query to be the source is gallery. Let's now go and have a look at this template. So when you're building out your loop grid, oh, by the way, I have got a gap of 20 for the column and 30 for the row. There's no class name. There's no fancy CSS inside of it either. So inside of it, I've already built out my template, but let me show you. I'm going to click edit template, and now you'll see how this was set up. Because remember, you could have an image and a video, or just an image and just a video. But what if you've gone and picked both, like what I had done for 3 of those gallery items? So we've got a container. This container is currently set to be 100 pixels high. My container is set to be a column. So inside of the container, we got an image widget and we got a video widget. Now, there's something I did to the image, which I think you're going to find really interesting. And it's something you may want to consider using. The image widget, right, is using that ACF field. So let me just show you. This is what you would have got. In fact, get rid of that image, right? So you drop in your image widget and it says, well, what do you want to add? What you do is click the dynamic tag down there and then scroll down to where it says ACF image field. You pick that and it will now still not know what you want. So you go and click the spanner or the wrench, and from your key, I'm going to go and pick G image. I've got other custom fields as well for other post types, but I want G image, which is why I called it G underscore, so I know it's the gallery one and not one of these over here. So that will now pull over the image. You might not see it straight away. If you don't worry, just go and save and publish and refresh the page. But here's the really important bit. If I go to the Style tab, I haven't set the width, the max width, or the height, okay? What I have done is given it a border radius of 5. If I go to the Advanced tab, I haven't even done anything over there except the position. Now, I'm going to come back onto this in a moment because there is a tiny bit of CSS you have to add, but I just want to show you the video and then we'll come back to why is the image set as an absolute and what little bit extra do we need to do for CSS. So far, this should not be difficult for you to follow so far what I'm doing. Let's go to the video. Bear in mind, this is a column container. So you would have seen an image and a video sat below one another, okay? The video, if we go over here, is currently set to be self-hosted. If self-hosted looks like that and you go and pick your media file, what you want to do is say external URL, click the dynamic tag, scroll down to ACF URL field, click the spanner or the wrench, and then inside of the key, you will pick G video URL. And that will now pull through a video file if it is existing inside of your gallery post. Autoplay is on, play on mobile, yeah, we'll leave that on. Mute is yeah, we are muting. It does loop, and we are going to show the player controls. But here's the other extra thing I did. I also went and set up a poster image. So if the video takes, it normally is less than a second, to be honest. Like, it might be 0.03 seconds or something, a split second to appear. I'm going to go and set a fallback. So I'm going to click the dynamic tag, scroll down to ACF image field, go and click the spanner or the wrench, click the key, and go and click G image. So if you've set the image and the video will be there, but if it takes a split second, the image will be present. Now let me just go over a few extra specifics, because remember I mentioned the absolute. Now this video is set to a 16:9 ratio. Remember that, 16:9 ratio. You could go for 9:16, which is portrait, or a square of 1:1 or something like that, okay? It's okay to pick what you want. But once you've decided on your size, we have to now ensure our image meets that size. And this is where it becomes a little bit unpredictable. Because what if your image is not a perfect 16:9 ratio? What if it was, a bit wider or a bit longer or something? Rather than you trying to second guess every image that you might have loaded, which is where you might make the mistake of setting your widths, your max widths, your heights, your cover, your contain, and all of that, because it can go very, very wrong and it can be frustrating when you move from desktop to tablet to mobile. What you do is leave them blank. What you do instead for your image, remember your video has set to be 16:9. You go to your image, you go to the Advanced tab, and you add in this little bit of CSS. So selector image, width 100%, set your width to 100% because it's got to fill that state. The aspect ratio 16:9. That is going to lock your image in. So when it fits the width 100%, it will then crop or create a object fit cover for the image to fit the 16:9 ratio. If you want to go for 9:16, you would basically swap this around. And that is probably the most bulletproof way to ensure that your images and your videos are the same size, because that is massively important. You don't want to have 1 or 2 pixels off because it's glaringly obvious and you'll notice it. So that's what we did. Now then, remember, this is a column or container set as a column. So image and video. In the image, I've gone over to my Advanced tab and I have set it to be absolute 00. I've given it a Z index of 1 as well, and I'll explain that. So the image is an absolute, sits right at the top, right? So as soon as you do that, it's at the top of that container, 00. The video, if we go to the Advanced tab, is also set to be, oh, by the way, ensure they are set to be full width. The video needs to be full width inside of that container, again for the 16:9 bit. This is also set to be absolute, 00, right at the top. But this time we've got a Z index of 99. So if you've got a post where you've got the image and the video populated, the image will be there, but the video will be there as well in front because it's got a higher priority. And you won't see the image bleeding out, a little bit below or whatever. And that is basically it. That is how you could have a moving interactive loop grid. I mean, obviously the image is missing because I'm editing it. When I hit publish, refresh, you'll see it. Let's go down to the second container that we have over here. This is basically the exact same thing, but a little bit extra. So let me now go and hit edit template on this. This is basically a copy of what we had above. And then I added in a little bit more. So let's just have a look at this. This container is the same thing again. The only difference is the height of this is slightly taller. Everything in here was the same as what we had above, but we also have a heading. This is the post title. So if you just dropped in a heading widget, you hit your dynamic tag, you go and pick post title. Now, when we go to the advanced tab, this is also set to be absolute. My heading is set to be 040 to the bottom over here, right? You see that there? But then I've said offset it by 40. If I go and set this to be 0, it's there. It's overlapping on the button. So by me adding in 40, it's now above by 40 pixels. And you will adjust that for your mobile and your tablet as well. You might think, quite a bit of work here. It ain't. When you're building it, you just fly through it. So that is it's at the bottom, 0 left and right, because it's just wherever it is. And then I've got it 40 offset from the bottom, and I've given it a Z index of 1000. You don't need to do that, but I just did. And if we go to the button, this is just a button. If we go to the advanced tab, this again is absolute to the bottom, but this is set to be 0. Because if I was to just go and do 5, you'll see the button move up, pop it back to 0. It's now at the bottom. So what I'm doing is I'm separating out the image and video, must be at the top, and then everything else will sit below, and I'm just controlling their positioning with a bit of offsetting. So here's my 2 loop grids. I've removed the space that sat between so you can see that they are working. The videos are playing. If you want to pause it, you can pause it if you want. If you want to expand on it, you can. They never look quite right. I mean, this one ain't going to look perfectly well because it's actually a 720p video. It's only, I think, 4 to 5 seconds long. And when we go to tablet, it still looks pretty good. And you go down to, well, this is the version when we had the heading and the button. I probably just need to adjust my gap there. I think I made my container for the tablet on the second loop grid a bit big. If we go over to the mobile, I've just got it set as a column 2. And again, look, you can see it. Again, you might want to decrease your gap. You have control over how big things look, and that's how the version would look. And you click then, it'll take you to the single post template. But if you wanted to have a gallery where it's a mixture of images and videos as just a gallery, you could use the loop grid and your custom fields to do that. But if you wanted to actually add some mysterious innovation to your loop grid for your blog post, imagine you got products over here, right? Imagine your template is like an image of like the product, and then next door you've got a video, like an animated GIF kind of thing. Not an animated GIF, but like a 3-4 second video that loops all the time to show them an action or how to use the product. This could really make it more engaging and immersive for your users. I'm Imran from Web Squadron. I hope you like, subscribe, share, and follow. Go and sign up for our YouTube channel. This is just a really funky, easy, simple way of how you can do this for free using Elementor and the Advanced Custom Fields plugin. Take care. I'll see you soon. Bye.